What's up, guys? Leaky Fox here. Today we're going to do crafting 101. There's 7 different types of crafting, and we're going to go over each one. First things first, you're going to want to get certified as a crafter. To do that, you have to go to your hometown, the hometown of your alliance. Ebonheart Pact, that's Davin's Watch. You'll just go to Davin's Watch, Wayshrine, and then you'll go to the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild. It'll be the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild in each zone, whatever alliance you are. And then you just want to find a chef or a brewer to pick up your recipes that you don't have for provisioning, for cooking food, and then the alchemy. Here you go. So this is there's an alchemy station and an alchemist here, so they'll have any kind of alchemy stuff you need. In this area right here, you should be able to find anything you need, but the provisioning, you'll have to come up here and talk to the chef or the brewer, whichever one they want you to make. Alright, so the Daggerfall Covenant is in the northwest of Tamriel, and you'll want to go to Daggerfall. You'll have Daggerfall Wayshrine when you start the game. You'll want to go to the Mages Guild or the Fighters Guild. They're right across from each other. And then there's a brewer and a chef right across the street. And then the crafting area is down here. There's 3 different locations for crafting. They have all the stuff right there. Now for Aldemir Dominion, you'll want to go to Ardon and go to Vulcan Guard. So you'll go to Mages Guild here and the Fighters Guild here. And the crafting area is in the middle of town right here. And then you have enchanting and alchemy here. And then your brewer and chef are right down the street. Now, to get certified in jewelry, you'll have to have the Somerset DLC, and you'll want to go to Alinor. The only way shrine you'll have, if you've never been there, is Shimmerine. You just travel southwest down to Alinor, and you come down here to the crafting area, and he'll be right outside of that crafting area on the left by a big tree. Now to collect the writs, the daily writs, you just come to these bulletin boards, equipment crafting writs. When you come in, you just examine them and pull them out. And they'll give you quests. I always do the equipment and then I do the consumables, because then it'll give you alchemy first, and your quests are in alphabetical order. So you'll start on the first one and go down the list, but that's just preference. These bulletin boards here are in every major city. When you pick up your daily writs, it's going to tell you what to make exactly. See here, it says normal, rubedite, pauldron, dagger, and helmet. Now, normal just means white, no trait. Doesn't have to be any specific style. So what I do is I come to the station, and you have to go up to your highest level. This top part, it changes what you're making, what material you're using, and then the bottom arrows down here changes the level. Each one has different levels, at least 2. Some of them have more. Now, whatever it's asking you to make, let's say you just started it, you want to make an iron ingot. You just want to make a level 1 iron ingot because it takes 3 ingots to make this axe. But if you go up in level, it takes more and more ingots. But all it wants is an iron ingot axe. So you can do the lowest level of each material. Especially whenever you're making 150 to 160 gear. You can choose 150 or 160 here, and the difference, it's 10 times more to make 160. So do not make the mistake of making 160 here for your writs. Also with master writs, it's the same way. You can make 150 instead of 160. And then you'll come down here to the style. I always choose one that I have plenty of. And then down here, just make sure there's no trait, so you don't use any trait stones. Now that's for the equipment. All the equipment are set up the same way. And even the jewelry. Except this one doesn't have style. But all the equipment has the same setup. And then whenever you craft an item that is part of your quest, it will pop up and say, okay, you made that. If you make something and that doesn't pop up, then stop what you're doing and look at your quest again. Now, for the consumable writs, they're a little different. With alchemy, I've already made mine, but let's say you need restore stamina, so you'll just pick 2 that restore stamina. And there's an app called ESO Helper that has a laboratory in it for potion making, and you can put in the ingredients that you have, the reagents, and it'll tell you what it'll make. Because when you start the game, or whenever, if you haven't leveled up alchemy at all, they'll all say unknown, just like the Chorus egg right here. And then enchanting's a little weird. There's 4 different numbers for everything. Now, what I mean by that is, right here, Jode, there's a 1, requires potency improvement 1. And then Jorah requires potency improvement 1. And then down here, there's a 1 here for Natade, and then a 1 here for Parade. Now what that means is, whenever you pick this and you pick Magicka, and then Ta, you always want to use Ta on your writs. That's all it's ever going to ask for. Don't waste these. But now it says a level 5 maximum Magicka glyph. So if it says, if you pick that and it's not what you need, then you'll change to a different 1, potency improvement 1. And now the characteristics have changed. It says absorb Magicka enchantment. So this is on a weapon, and then this other one goes on armor. So it changes the characteristics, and like I said, there's 4 of each. So this other one, see, it's a level 5. These 2 are level 1. They do the same thing as the other ones, but they're just a different level. And each one has those 4 different types. 2 are the same level and 2 are the same characteristic. For provisioning, like I said before, you're going to want to talk to a brewer for food, or brewer for drinks, and a chef for food. And if you need ingredients, you can talk to a grocer, or you can ask guildies, because people tend to have a lot of food. So you just make whatever it tells you to make, and the grocers and the chefs, they'll have the recipes for these too. We're going to go down the list on our skill list here. First, we're going to go over the stations, and then we're going to go over what passives you have. The alchemy station, you have potion solvents and poison solvents, and then you have reagents. Your poison and potion solvents, they're your base item. And then the reagents are what you put together to make a potion or poison. Your top passive on each skill line in crafting is always going to be your aptitude, and like it says, your proficiency at that skill. So as this levels up, you can make higher and higher level items. Keen eye, there's keen eye on most of these skill lines. This allows you to see nodes out in the world a lot easier. Nodes are what you pick up to give you materials to craft more items. It's the best way to do that. Medicinal use, this makes potions last longer. This makes more potions or poisons. This allows you to make more intricate potions or poisons using 3 items, 3 reagents instead of just 2. And then snake blood, it removes all the negative effects of potions. Now, moving on to another consumable. Going to go to provisioning. All you do here, it's very simple, is press square. And it crafts, or whatever it tells you to craft. You just hit one and it makes the food or the drink. Now you can hold down that same button and choose a quantity. And you can press triangle to make maximum. This is really handy for power leveling. You can just make as many as you want. And the same goes for alchemy. Do the same thing there. I do recommend not making a ton of these single items where it just has one ingredient, because they don't give you much XP and you'll level up pretty quick doing some of these. And then you'll want to put skill points into your provisioning skill line to where you can make better quality items, because the more intricate they are, the more experience you gain, or inspiration. And inspiration is the same thing as an experience. It's just labeled as experience in crafting. Now, with provisioning skill line, you have your quality, or the level quality. This makes food last. This makes food last longer. This makes drinks last longer. This makes it to where you create 4 items instead of 3, or instead of 1, when you have it maxed out. This makes it to where you make 3 drink items. This is food and this is drink. And then the hireling will bring you raw mats every day. Now going to the hirelings, every day you'll have raw materials in your mail. Make sure you pull this out every day, because they won't keep sending it to you unless you don't have any in your mail. And you can do this on multiple characters. Alright, the next one we're going to go over is enchanting. When you go into an enchanting table, Like I said before, you'll have the 4 numbers, and then this will choose what the what your base is, and then this is the quality. Your enchanting passives are, this allows you to create higher level. This is your quality, your blue, green, purple, gold. This is Keen Eye, makes it easier to see the nodes. Your hireling that you get in the mail. And this one is very important. It allows you to extract more items from each glyph that you deconstruct. So when you go into the station, you can go down to extraction and break down glyphs. You can pick all the glyphs that you want to break down, and then hold the action button, whatever console you're on. For me, it's square. You hold it down, and it'll break them all down at once. Now, when you hold it down, it's going to do it. There's no, are you sure you want to do this? The best way to level up enchanting is to break down glyphs that you don't make yourself. If you break down a glyph that you make yourself, your XP from it, your experience, is next to nothing. And then if you break down one that someone gives you, or you find out in the world, your experience is way higher than what you make. So don't waste your energy on making them and then deconstructing them. Up next, we have blacksmithing. You have your type, the item you want. You have apparel. At the very top, you can go over and do weapons and apparel. And this chooses your type of material, and then the level is below that. Then you have style and the trait. Clothing works the same way with crafting items. Jewelry is the same way. And woodworking. When you go to a station for equipment, deconstruct, and you just choose the item and press square, and you can choose multiple, and hold down the action button, and it'll deconstruct everything you have. There are intricate items. They give you more experience whenever you break them down. And there's an intricate item. Increases inspiration gained from deconstruction of this item by 280%, and gain additional refined material upon deconstruction of this item. So this is really meant for leveling up and getting material built up. So best way to level that up is with intricate items. Now moving on, with blacksmithing and clothing and woodworking, jewelry, you have refine. This makes it to where you can take 10 items, and you can click on it and refine that item. And it turns into an item you can use instead of just a raw material. With these skill lines, you have passives that increase your chance of getting better materials and better improvement materials whenever you refine. So I definitely recommend not refining anything until you have these maxed out on that specific skill line. And the main reason why I say that is because refining does not give you any kind of experience towards that skill line. So your equipment passives, you just have what kind of materials you can use, your Kenai to make you see nodes better, your hireling. Each one of the equipments have hirelings except for jewelry. Your extraction, that's going to be your refining, where you want to max those out. And then at the bottom, you're going to have improvement. This allows you to improve items with less improvement materials. So when you go to an equipment station, you can go to improvement and choose an item, and you can go from white to green, and then green to blue, and then blue to purple, and purple to gold. And each time you level it up to a new color, it takes more improvement mats of a different type to increase the quality. Now, right here it says my chance. At the top left, it says chances of 100%, and I hit the arrow to the left, and it goes down to 50%, and I use half the mats. So it takes less mats to get that 100% chance when you have those passives. So before you start improving any items, I would recommend getting that passive increased to max. And also, if you fail when you improve something, if you want to use less mats and you set it to 50% or whatever below 100%, and it fails, then you lose the item and you lose the materials you were using. Alright, last but not least, on your equipment, each equipment station, there's going to be another tab for research. Research is for the traits. You research traits to create better sets. So reduce research time by 5%. This one is different from all the other ones. As usual for jewelry, it only reduces the time. You can only ever research one item at a time with jewelry. But like with clothing, this allows you to research 2 at a time, and it's less time. And as you rank it up, you can research up to 3 at a time, and it's a lot less time total. Now, with these passives, you can see that I don't have them because I have all 9 traits of everything researched. But there is a little bit of a warning here. If you're on your last item on any specific skill line researching, and it's your 9th trait on your last item in that skill line, and you've got 27 days, okay, I can take these skill points out and put them somewhere else. Do not do that, because it will reset your time to the full amount as if you had just researched it without this passive. Okay, researching those items allows you to create certain crafted sets. The more research you do, the more items you can create. You have to go to the set item area to be able to create those certain items. The icon looks like this. That's the crafting icon for sets. It's on your zone guide. Each zone has at least one. Now you can join a guild that has the sets at their house, and looking at these, you can see that right below the item on the left it says requires 4 traits, and each set is different. So this one requires 6 traits. So you have to have 6 traits researched in the shield to create this set, to create a shield in this set. So that's what researching does for you. I really recommend doing it early on, because it takes a while. It takes a lot of time. There's 9 traits in each on each item. Now the best thing to do, the best way to research is on each station, whether you can do 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. You want to do your first trait, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be the top. Whatever you get out in the world or your buddies make for you. Research that one item on this one piece, and then move over and research another item, and then another item, and so on and so forth until you get one trait on each piece. And once you get full there, do the second trait on each piece, and then the third, and then the fourth. And the reason being is every time you go up another item, so you've researched one item and you want to research the second item, that's going to take more time than the first item. So researching the first item on each piece is going to be the lowest amount of time, and you're going to get more research done than researching all 9 traits of one item and then moving on. So try to do it one piece at a time, one trait at a time.